Well, ladies and gentlemen, Battlefield is certainly in a very strange state of limbo at the moment. Nobody is really saying anything. There's been no statements, no news on updates, no confirmation of Battlefield 2042 Season 7, and the hype for Battlefield 2042 Season 6 is definitely completely over, and in less than 30 days after hitting 100,000 players, Battlefield 2042 is now, as I picture it with this screenshot, at roughly 7,000 players at the time of the screenshot, which was about 6 o'clock at night, which is, typically that's when people are gaming, so that's not really good. So in this video, I'm going to provide you guys an update, actually. One of the community managers did finally say something today, and we're also going to discuss how Battlefield shoots itself in the foot consistently when it comes to managing its own hype. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and check out my new collaboration mousepads with DropClick. Now, there are many other mousepads other than my collabs, which are really awesome. They're all high quality products, and they also offer keycaps. Use my code ENDERS for 10% off, link in the description. So in terms of this community update, which was provided by a community manager called Total FPS, he finally broke the silence, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, by saying, "Fear not. They have not disappeared. We'll provide a check-in on where we are at soon and when to expect the next update. Keep those eyes peeled on Battlefield community for further insight, hopefully over the next coming days." In addition to that very uneventful statement, Battlefield Bulletin also provided a list of known issues that have been forwarded to the developers. One of the issues being some instances where hit registration does not work as intended, and I can attest to that because I shot a full magazine through someone on Redacted and almost ate my mouse. Like, I physically put the mouse in my mouth and almost swallowed it. So hopefully they definitely fix that. In terms of some of the other things they pushed to the devs, there are repeated instances of people somehow getting outside of the map on Redacted, and they've also informed the developers about spawn beacon issues and some rare cases where your weapon and character model basically just completely disappear. So I certainly hope we will see a post from Battlefield community in a couple of days with a big update outline and perhaps, hopefully, confirmation of Battlefield 2042 Season 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is farther down the line. Now moving on to Battlefield's complete and utter inability of managing their own hype. And what I mean by that is, when you have a free-to-play session that is coinciding with a seasonal release, and you see the highest player counts for your game you have ever seen since release, I would probably kind of think that it would be a good idea to manage that hype and extend that hype by extending the free-to-play period. But of course, that is not what Battlefield did. They sort of just cut the free-to-play period off, and they cut the sale off, and then the people that bought the game, either from playing the free-to-play period or just seeing that it was on sale in the first place, played the game for a little bit, and as it has always happened, the game returns to its pretty much default state, where it's kind of dead and there's a bunch of AI in the server, and the 24-hour peak is somewhere around the 30,000, maybe 25,000 range, with the majority of those people being in the European/Asian regions, North America being the smallest Battlefield region besides Australia, and maybe regions like South Africa and the Middle East and other places like that. And by smallest regions, I mean in terms of player count. Believe it or not, player count in North America for Battlefield is actually dwarfed by European player count, and that's always been the case, at least in my experience with Battlefield games. But this is beside the point. The point is, they kind of just shot themselves in the foot by not capitalizing on the massive hype for their game, just like they always have. They need to take it more seriously when they're about to release a season, and they need to pay attention more closely to what's happening after they release the season, because they really do miss out on opportunities to extend their game's hype, extend their game's player count, and generally just to extend the player's happiness. If I were the person in control of maybe making a couple of the decisions within the studio regarding what you do with the game after a season releases, if I saw the player count hit over 100,000, first of all, I'm making it a free-to-play weekend, and then, on top of that, I'm making sure that it is double XP throughout the entire free-to-play period, not just the weekend. And then, on top of that, I'm adding challenges, much like the event challenges for the Halloween event, or maybe some of the other mid-season events that you remember, that provide people with skins and other content they can unlock. Now, skins aren't content, but it is sort of an incentive and something interesting for new people to that are coming into the game to continue playing the game, and it's cool to know that it would be like specifically for those people, right? My general point is they kind of just need to get on top of it and do more when the situation calls for them to do more. Now, the sad sort of flip side about this is even though a lot of people bought Battlefield 2042 as a result of those big sales and maybe as a result of the free-to-play periods, those people that bought the game didn't stick around at all. Because, like I said, we're right back to the sort of typical player count of Battlefield 2042. So, what happened to those people? Well, my best guess for what happened to those people is the game is simply boring and doesn't have enough content to retain new players that maybe came from Call of Duty or Apex or games with generally much more engagement, much more content, much more stuff to grind for, and games that are generally more popular and entertaining to the masses. And I suppose there's really nothing you can do about that in Battlefield 2042. At this point, Battlefield 2042 is what it's going to be, okay? They've pulled the game back slightly, they've added the content they've added, but even the content they've added isn't enough to keep people satisfied because the content they add is significantly less than what people expect, and is also significantly less than what people have experienced in previous Battlefield games. So what can we do about this? Well, really nothing, except take it as a lesson and use that information for the next Battlefield title. The fact of the matter is, if the next Battlefield title continues with this live service nonsense, and it has the same abysmal amount of content as Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042, you can just kiss that game dead on arrival. No, dead on announcement, not even on arrival. Because I think we can all come together and agree that we're not going to be interested for much longer in Battlefield if all we get is one map per season, right? Like, that is simply not enough. When games like Battlefield 1, at one point, were receiving 6 maps in one massive DLC cycle, even if it was delayed. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, they'll confirm Season 7 fairly soon. Hopefully, there is a Season 7. I do think there will be because it would sort of be the logical sort of progression, right? If they do a Season 7, then there's probably going to be a Season 8, and then past Season 8, they can cancel the game and say, oh, we supported the game for a full 2 years, haha. That's what I think they're probably going to go for. And in terms of the content drought that is starting right now with Battlefield, expect some Call of Duty videos mixed in with Battlefield videos on the channel. As always, I'm going to try my best with uploading, but it's going to be very difficult yet again for Battlefield content creators here. So I hope you guys will enjoy some COD shenanigans mixed in. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Thank you guys that do that. Join the Discord. Check out DropClick. And I'm going to see you guys later.